And where do you think?
Hey everybody, hey everybody, welcome back to the Spin Rack. I'm here with my boys PD and Cal. Today we're discussing Mark Waid. Mark Waid is writing something called for DC Absolute Power. So here's an image. Gentlemen, say hello.
What's
Hey,
up?
ready to rock.
Okay, so it's a new. So PD, can you give us a little background on this?
Says that Absolute Power sees Waller finally making good on her threat to rid the world of metahumans. Right? She has a failsafe going with the Brainiac Queen, I guess who we see over here, and steal power from every metahuman on Earth. It fall on Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman to rally their heroes against an ancestral threat. So there we go. We got it. We got some terrible pictures here of Superman taking the gunshot right to the chest because he ain't got no power, but he's able to fly for some reason. But it's Mark Wade, so do we trust him or do we not?
The art looks great. Look at that. Look at that black on red. It looks absolutely fabulous.
That's nice.
You know, but how do you shoot Superman unless you have like a kryptonite in the?
Right at that moment, he lost the Amanda Waller did her thing, and look at it. No way to survive that. Batman will come in.
Oh, wow, that sounds exciting. I really want to read that. Take my money, please.
So what do you think about it? I mean, so this is the new DC. This is DC Summer Spectacular, right? They just finished Beast Wars just now for the winter. Now they're moving on
But
over to
like Transformers Beast Wars?
no, it was Beast Wars with Teen Titan Beast Wars. Okay, and that Waller was involved in that whole debacle in itself. So now they're moving forward to, I guess, her ultimate plan to get rid of the metahumans. And back there, you can see her new headquarters, which is what the Hall of Justice, I believe it is, from the Super Friends. So, what's your take on this, Cal? Give me your heads up.
Like with everything else, gonna have to read it, but I'm not very interested in the premise. They, we'll give them some credit for trying to throw in some new characters here. Though Failsafe was a ridiculous, that was a ridiculous creation at the end of the day for a Batman villain.
Wait,
If
so tell us about Failsafe. I don't know what Failsafe is.
Failsafe is this android, it's like an android Batman, and the idea is that Batman
Oh, okay.
counter for every move that somebody can do. So this is now a robot android. So of course he'll be like, Batman 10.0 or something of that nature. But I mean, what is it? They had him fighting, they had failsafe fighting Superman. Of course, he hits him with the kryptonite. He fights Superman again. This time he's using Kryptonian pressure points in order to get Superman to admit his heat vision. And I was just like, this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. The stuff that they'll get away with in a Batman book. He was like, okay, this is just, I couldn't. I just said, look, that the idea of when you do something like that to a character like Superman, then it becomes like, all right, so we should just keep doing it. Why not like everybody find out a way to just hit these Kryptonian pressure points? It was just dumb. But it was localized to Batman's book, so I was like, all right, it's a Batman story, no big deal. But you see how these things tend to jump and spread to other ideas. So now you've got Failsafe, you got Amanda Waller, who should have been taken out years ago. She's not that tough. And then we have the brain, we got the Brainiac Queen. So we got this particular thing going on. And Failsafe at this point, if he's taking all the powers, this is just like a new version of Amazo, just I guess with a little bit more brain power. But see, when you set up a story like this, if it's going that route, once this person takes all the powers from all the heroes, especially when you got Superman's power, so that's really all you need. Well, how do you stop this guy? What are you going to do? Oh, EMP. How do you stop this guy at the end of the day? So, I'm up from the Robert E. Howard school, where the more powerful you make a character, the harder it becomes to put them in situations that they can really be challenged in. Now, they usually circumvent that with superheroes, where it's not really about the superhero, but about superheroes saving people. So you can still have those challenges, you just voice them on the people. But this, the heroes are powerless. Oh, I know I have read it's. I know I have read this storyline already. With Superman, was probably like the final night, and then I'll get to running around with no powers and remind everybody he's still Superman, even if he doesn't have his power. Blah blah blah. Wonder Woman, of course, will fight. Batman still has his utility belt. Yeah, I don't know. And they got Mark Waid on this, so competent writer. So I'm hoping for the best. But then I see these images of Superman being shot in midair after he used the heat vision and the freeze breath. So it's just like, oh, that was convenient. That was convenient. Power was cut out right there. And they shot him, and they shot at him too. Couldn't have been a dude who's just talking like, "Hey guys, I want you to wait." What? Oh, that should be the end of it. We should never see Superman again. Just fall and die. So,
I think I hear you on everything. I think the art looks pretty good.
yeah,
I didn't know who those characters were. I'm like, could you show the picture again so we can see this fail-safe character?
Well, hold
And
on.
I'm not saying that this obviously a back or like another version of Batman, but with no with it's like you said it's a maze mode, but it's like the Batman universe, like something you see in the Silver Age, but too dark for the Silver Age. But yeah, I don't know. And I thought failsafe, she just had a failsafe, not a character as an outfit. And how does that work with the Batman outfit? Answers a lot of questions. It makes a lot of questions for me to see it there. It looks pretty cool, but I would have never. When you look at them and say, all right, which one is failsafe? We have the Borg Queen, we have the Black Girl, and this Batman character. I don't know which one is failsafe. So
I guess so. Failsafe, I guess, is
the one in the Batman outfit.
it
I
just
guess
doesn't
this
say
failsafe.
failsafe. Yeah, you see, you had to ask.
No, that well, failsafe was created by Batman.
Like a Frankenstein monster. You will be my failsafe. That's her name. Failsafe.
No, failsafe. The idea was with this comes from out of the Morrison run, where Batman was supposed to have put like this mental failsafe into his mind. So if anything ever happened, he would turn into the Batman of Zur-En-Arrh. But then the Batman of Zur-En-Arrh decided he would create a failsafe so if Batman ever went rogue, that story idea, which has really lived much too long about the superheroes going rogue.
Yeah.
So now we got this dude over here that Batman created, and it doesn't really track because the whole idea is that Batman is supposed to have created an android that could stop him if he ever went rogue. I thought the whole idea with Batman was that one bullet was all you really need to stop this dude. You need an android that can contend with Superman to stop Batman? Crazy.
Yeah, well, I mean, Batman's out of the world now, so off-world Batman. Batman can do anything now. Okay, so what is it? That comic called? It's called Off-World Batman. What's it called? I read a couple of issues of it. I'm like, Batman is in a whole other universe.
No, it's crazy. Side note: people still know about the Hall of Justice. It's funny, like people, that I guess Super Friends cartoon. When you hear people trying to use comic book phrasing, they like saying they have a hard time with some of the other stuff, but they know the lead things and they know the Hall of Justice, which was I think I heard of I think a rapper or someone that was in that sort of vein or basketball player talking about the Hall of Justice. We had to gather in the Hall of Justice. And I was just like, it's still using those terms from time to time. Those are the ones that stuck. But I think when we think of Mark Waid,
sorry, Pete, the reason I'm bringing it up is that I think the reason is that the writers and artists were influenced by that Super Friends show, and so they are bringing it back in their art and their writings, and that's why it brings out people are used to it. So it's a certain group. I don't think everybody's going to know it, but those who know it basically spent time watching those shows and enjoying those shows. Okay.
Well, with this, I think when we think of Mark Waid, we think of the Flash series. We go to the Kingdom Come, but that's kind of him. It was more Alex Ross and Alex Ross trying to do. He didn't know about the Twilight, but kind of doing something like Twilight type of deal. There we go.
Just so people know, now what's the name of where the heroes are? They're in outer space now. What's the name of the station called?
You talking about the satellite? The Justice League satellite?
What's it called now?
It's called something different than a satellite?
It has another name.
Watch
Tower. Yeah, Watch Tower.
Right. So this is where you get from the Super Friends, but it's really the Hall of Justice. I mean, it's really the Watchtower that they're on. And of course, they also introduced this in, or kind of introduced it in the Arrowverse too, of a Hall of Justice, or the makings of one. So I don't know if they actually went fully there, but it was there.
And Amanda Waller's going to be in there for what? Empowerment.
Arrowverse, well, I guess she's become a very good foil. You know, what I'm trying to say she's a Lex Luthor now of the DC universe, right?
She's supposed to be. How can have a Lex Luthor in the same universe? It's like she's supposed to be.
Oh, they want to try something different, bro. I mean, before she's been around for a minute, right? And she's been running teams. I mean, isn't look at Marvel. They have what's the name of that character? Character. She is now gathering the Thunder bolts, right? In the MCU.
Who you talking about? The
Val,
TV
Val,
show?
Val. Yeah, the movies. Val.
And
Uh,
balance her.
Yeah.
Countess.
So they're like she's like kind of good, kind of evil, So
No, we needed to. I mean, no. I mean, when what's her name was younger, she was super hot. You could see it in some of those early things.
we're not talking
That's
about
not Countess.
we're
That's
talking
not
about. We're not
Countess.
calling it out that. We're not calling
That's
about her.
not Countess.
We're
Dallas.
talking
Hell,
about
that's not that one.
okay. We're talking about her being could be a big bad in the end. Okay, come on. Let's
All
go
right,
on
here
their
we go. I'm
ability.
just gonna say, when we think of Wade, I'm gonna start this again. When we think of Wade, we think of the Flash. We think of Captain America. We might think of, Kingdom Come. We think of a more recent thing that he did with Captain America. That was Daredevil. Those sort of things. Even though he kind of can go dark in those things. We think of some of what was it? I wouldn't say birthright, but I think that some people might think of him in that sense. We think of him as the kind of guy who gives you the meat and potatoes type of stuff, but at the same time, there's this one who does the Justice League after Morrison, who did the story which is similar to what Cal was talking about, where Batman, all of his fail safes get into someone else's hands and in Ra's al Ghul's hands, and he uses them against all the heroes, and it's just like they should have. Superman, Batman should have never been in the league after that. There should be no reason why you have him in the league. So all of his stuff.
He's the brains, right? He's the brains of
No,
the.
he's not that brain. He's not Lex Luthor. He's not that smart. He has some gadgets
They
that he
can't do
might
squat
design.
without Batman. They always have to bring yo Batman. What you think? Okay, Batman. Whatever you want. Yeah, yeah, Batman. We know you're not part of the league, the team, but you're still a man. I know it. Come on, man. You know it.
I'm
Batman,
true.
They can't sell without
He
Batman.
can go. My point is that he can go. This is one of the things where we see the other one, the other way that goes. The one that's been writing the social justice stuff at Marvel, like who fits in with the type of talent that's out there now. He can. They have him. People have done the critiques. I've read it. There's the Captain America stuff, the stuff we know, and then there's the stuff that fits into the current comic book thing. And this is kind of in that vein. It feels like in that vein, even though it has the triumvirate of DC heroes and them gathering these bunch of heroes. This is a summer event, and it looks like it's going to have some decent art in it. But the premise and having a Waller, and I don't know how you get to the end of this, and they finally kill Waller, so we move. But she's too much of a mainstay to get rid of her. She was fun, where it was like the Nick Fury who wasn't all in on the heroes. Like she had something where she could do some darker things. Whereas Nick Fury, when Shield went bad, he of course it became Nick Fury versus Shield, which is a very successful miniseries that's kind of ultimately forgotten at this point. But, I'm all for Waller when she was first introduced, like what she's become now, being this heavy duty, picking up with these things and all the stuff behind it. Like, you look at this, it's not really a Waller story, but at the same time, I'm not doing a comic book, so they can take it wherever they want to go. Like, there's many characters that.
Look,
question: How is she pulling this off? You would have to have the resources of like
the
you
go.
you you would literally have to have the resources of the entire country to pull something like this off with these particular characters, knowing how powerful they are, and there's no clearance for this type of stuff. Like nobody so Amanda Waller was supposed to was Task Force X. And we've gone from Task Force X, where they always like to aggrandize these characters that become popular or fan favorites. Like, no, no, no. Amanda Waller's always got a plan for everything. She's done this. She's got a mad on for these dudes. And like, no, no. This all stems from one issue. One issue where you see Batman backing up while she's got her finger on his chest. And everybody was like, oh, wow, she must be really tough because she's telling Batman what to do. And I'm like, no. What was Batman going to do? Like slap her? That was never going to happen. Number one, it was just supposed to be a good cover. And here we are today with her taking away the powers from every superpower being on the planet. Crazy.
I mean, but isn't that the ultimate thing? I mean, she utilized the Suicide Squad to do whatever she needed to do, right? To accomplish the goals, right? And then after that, then she starts getting bigger and bigger. Where she's going, I think there was a series a couple of years ago where they go to Earth, where they have the evil Superman, the crime. What is it? The criminal gang, crime gang, and they basically go there and take over that world with the help of the Teen Titans and some other heroes, right? So I mean, that's she's like, hey, we got to take care of these guys. So it's easier for her to say. Then you have the whole thing with the Beast World series where she's trying to stop all these spores of beasts going all over. So her next thought is like, yo, dude, with being that I'm a representative of the government, I'm going to utilize all that we have here to stop the metahumans. How does that sound any different than what other series have done? You have the guy from the Hulk, the General. What's the name? General.
You're pushing it. You're gonna go somewhere where you're gonna get in trouble, aren't you?
Thunderbolt Ross. Thunderbolt Ross was trying to stop the Hulk. He had, I mean, can you say he went overboard? Sure, but it was still the Hulk.
But I'm just saying now we're going up. And then the X-Men, that other general where he was trying to stop the X-Men, the mutants. I'm not saying if it was me, but let's say, for example, if it was me, my first thing is to stop all metahumans and mutants, period, right? Because they're a threat to humanity, and that's how she sees it. She's going to use whatever she has to stop.
Wait, Pat, both examples that you gave, you have the Incredible Hulk was a monster, and then with the mutants, literally, that was a 50-50 deal. You had the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants running around, creating all this chaos, causing destruction, killing people, and then you had the X-Men, whose chief job was to police them. So with the mutants, it really was like a 50-50 deal, to the point where if you're the government, like, hey, maybe we should just take them all out, because
yes.
we can't really tell one from the other. This is one. The examples you gave are one from the Marvel universe. DC universe tends to be a lot more light on their heroes. They actually tend to like them. And then two, who are the people that you're after? Okay, I could understand if you were after powers of
right, but in a recent Beast World series, she's blaming the Titans and the metahumans for having that this whole beast spores getting released in the world. So you got to see.
Who released these spores? Who released the spores? Was it Changeling?
No.
Oh well, then there we go.
But look, the point of the matter is that I don't see it as that far fetched, and it looks like I said, we saw the art. It looks really good. Mark Waid is going to be behind it. I mean, he's on one of the Kingdom Come was a good series, and what about that Doom series? Didn't he have a Fantastic Four Doom series?
Waid?
Yeah, Waid. I thought he did something with Doom. Like Doom retired or something like that. I don't know. All right, so look, probably it's a long time ago. Don't recall. But the fact of the matter is, hey, I think we have some good talent there. We have the genesis of a better story, a good story. Unless the only
I don't like that. All I heard was a big freeze, and then I heard genesis just of a good story. I'm not sure.
I'm saying the only problem I tend to have with these events, these crossovers and events, is that it's just too much. You have to buy $80 worth of comics or $60 worth of comics instead of just being contained within a certain series, And so DC is
You don't have to. You don't have to buy $80 worth of comics. You only have to buy that if you want to get every little aspect of it. If you just want to read, the storyline, that's usually pretty good, which is what I would recommend for this. Number one, number two. I mean, I can understand why I really understand why you would like this. This is right up your alley. You want to take over the world too. All the power should be yours. I get it. There's no problem with that. But even you have to admit that for a character like Amanda Waller, this is a very, very far-fetched idea. It's really out there. I mean, this is something where I could understand if it was like the Legion of Doom and you had Lex Luthor and maybe two other characters who can really, really support something like this happening. I could see this as one of his plots. But Amanda Waller, no, it's just not there.
So hey, it looks good. PD, any final thoughts?
Yeah, I just don't know if I can trust Waid on this. It seems like one of the darker fare for him, and
What do you mean? Of course you can't trust Waid on this. You know you can't trust Waid on this. Don't trust Mark Waid. You know better than that. Mark Wade, that's how
Um,
you. No, you called it correctly. You said Kingdom Come. No, that was really Alex Ross, and you're right. Because as soon as Mark Wade got his hands to do something on his own, what did we get? We got the Kingdom. What was that? What was that? It was trash. You know
Everybody
it was
says
trash.
in the kingdom, when they say the kingdom, they say, well, at least we got hyper time. I was like, you know, I could have done without hyper time if that was the case, at the same time. But yeah, that when people say there's no account for the story, which is not to say that no, actually the hard part is, you know, they and this is going separate from Wade because they let Ross do kind of a prequel sequel to Kingdom Come, and the build up and the story and how it developed was just so amazing. And then when it got to the climax, it was kind of like, what? But it was going to be one of the. It seemed like it was going to be glowing. It had grandeur and got to that, but that wasn't what made Wade. I think the Wade one was kind of like we're definitely running off the success of the first one, and we got all these offshoot titles. So, but it didn't actually work. I think the one title people liked the most was the Offspring thing, but starting the thing where you have Superman being fried to a crisp every 2 seconds really wasn't a good start to the series. So, um,
You think? You think?
Okay, so we're
I
wrapping it up.
shouldn't have. I shouldn't have. Superman is like I shouldn't have left. I shouldn't have left. What? I'm a man of God. I'm just gonna burn up Superman. Like, what is going
I,
on?
I thought that was hilarious. I was like, he's killing all of these Supermen, but except for the one who's our guy. For some reason, he can't kill that one. I was like, so the rest of these dudes are disposable, except for the real
And
deal. I was like, man, talk about buying the name brand as opposed to the no frills, right?
And the hard part is when you have artists like Jerry Ordway doing that first issue. Because I think the first issue of The Kingdom was the guy who did, or someone similar to the guy who did Birthright. So it was kind of like the imagey type art type of deal. But having Jerry Ordway doing frying Superman to a crisp and throw him in the wall and seal him into the wall was just like it brought the kid back to me when I saw books where I saw like this Superman Muhammad Ali when Superman got beat up, and I was just like, "Ooh, this hurts. This hurts a little more for me seeing this. It just seems so over the top." And then when you see real over the top like that with Ordway, a classic artist doing it, was just like, how did they get? Did they have to pay Mark Waid more to do that to Superman? I hope they did because I don't know. I would enjoy Mark just sitting at the page. Oh, I can't wait to draw this. Superman get burned to a crisp. Fry him up. So bad. But yeah, I can't backtrack too much on it because this seems like it's going to be the other Mark Waid. So
All right. Hey, so if you guys like what you heard, give us a thumbs up, comment, subscribe. Spin Rack.
it's
Out.
out.